It's a potentially life-saving opportunity for a child or any member of the family. But doctors say too many parents are missing it. The chance to collect and store the umbilical cord blood of their newborn baby. Research shows that cord blood contains stem cells that have the potential to develop into specialized cells that treat many different diseases such as leukemia, lymphoma, and Hodgkin's disease. These stem cells are not to be confused with embryonic stem cells. There are no moral, religious, or ethical objections to using cord blood stem cells for treatment, but the collection procedure is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Only at the time of the birth is you've got that small window of opportunity. It's a very simple process. You just clean off the cord with an alcohol swab, put a needle in it, and it's just gravity that drains the blood out of the cord into the bag, and you try to collect as much as possible. Collecting the cord blood is a very easy process to do. It's painless, it's easy, it's very quick, it doesn't interfere with the delivery whatsoever.
Doctors say banking your child's cord blood gives you an exact match to the child and a higher chance of matching other family members. This makes it an alternative to a bone marrow transplant should the need arise in the future.
It was September 26th, 2005. We had a healthy baby boy, and he started vomiting and was dizzy, and we took him to the doctors, who gave him a CAT scan and sent us by ambulance to Sick Kids Hospital, and he was diagnosed with medulloblastoma, which is a malignant brain tumor. And unfortunately, his cancer had spread, and we were told that he would need a stem cell transplant. Unfortunately, we did not save his cord blood, so we had to go to other extremes to get some cord blood for him.
The transplant was a cure. I'm not in remission because my bone marrow was replaced with my daughter's stem cell, which reproduced a whole new bone marrow. Initially, I had a bone marrow that was defective, that was creating a leukemic cell, and her stem cell cured me of leukemia completely.
The use of cord blood in transplant is something that's been taking off probably over the last decade or a bit longer. It was appreciated then that the same stem cells or blood cells that we need to rebuild a person's bone marrow in the bloodstream can be found in good numbers in the cord. And as well, there's some specific properties of cord blood that actually make it a desirable source of stem cells for blood marrow transplant.
Around the world, cord blood stem cells have been used to treat thousands of patients successfully, and research is showing promising work with stroke, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and heart disease.
Right now, if I use a cord blood unit, I'm using it as part of transplant. But if I look a decade from now, I might just as well be using it for someone that's coming off the street with a heart attack to help them recover and to rebuild properly and things. So that's research that's ongoing now that's promising, and it's going to change the face of medicine, I think, over the course of this decade.
I think one of our main concerns, and of course our doctor informed us as well, was that because of our mixed race background, the chances of us finding a perfect match for our children would be very difficult.
Everyone wants to take care of their child, and this is obviously one way you can do it.
I think the important message to get to these couples is I think it's all about patient choice. And that means they have the option of collecting privately for family use, and then they pay for that. Banking publicly, donating it to a public bank, and then they essentially relinquish their right to that sample, but it goes into a pool that everybody has access to, or donate it for research, which is important also.
These cells are really cells of the future. They're being used now around the world to treat more than 70 different diseases successfully. And it just doesn't make sense to throw such valuable cells away in the waste. They should be stored. If families decide not to store them for themselves, they should really donate them so that other people can use them.
Once a sample arrives at Cells for Life, we go through a series of steps that include identification of the sample, applying barcodes to trace the sample throughout the process. We prepare them in a clean room environment where we separate the components of whole blood into plasma, red blood cells, and buffy coat. We're isolating the stem cells within the buffy coat layer. Then we prepare the samples to be frozen. To do this, we add a cryoprotectant, and this really protects the cells during that steep decline to cryogenic temperatures. At the conclusion of the freezing profile, we transfer the stem cells into long-term storage, which is in vapor phase liquid nitrogen at minus 190 degrees Celsius.
At least know your options, get educated, be aware of what these cord blood samples can do, and use your own judgment whether or not you want to save it.